That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
You know, I've always wondered, there are a lot of talk shows and podcasts and the like about politics, right? There are really a lot of them.
And there may be a few more in light of the fact that we have an election again in 18 months.
Yeah, but
15 months, 60, whatever.
How often, on a day-to-day basis, unless you're just a political freak, do you actually deal with politics in your daily life?
You could contribute. You could be involved in a campaign, but you don't vote very often. I try to vote only 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah,
try to limit
vote
it when
often.
I can. Yeah.
Vote early.
Yeah.
But really, does it, on a day-to-day basis, does politics really, really change your life much?
Some people are going to say yes.
No.
I'm probably going to say money's more. I see where you're headed here.
What changes your life more?
Yeah, the weather.
What the weather?
The weather, yes. The traffic. That's why I'm here listening to this show, because they do the weather.
You ever notice that they have traffic every 10 minutes on the 4s?
Yeah, I do notice.
And yet we don't have Money Talk every 10 minutes on the 7s?
On the 7s. Yeah. Don McDonald now with Money Talk on the 7s.
On the 7s. But what is it that you need more than anything? Do you need a traffic report when you get to be 65?
Air more than anything, actually.
Okay, but air comes gratis.
Okay, well, hopefully, yeah.
For now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But let's say you need fancy air in a can. What do you need to get it?
Money.
You could just go along with me and quit making it so darn difficult.
It's just fun to poke at you, because I can't do it about your move anymore. So
no, you're not allowed.
Pretty much ruled out of that. So
yeah, you're not allowed.
I find new things.
Sorry.
Okay, so the show's about money and it's important. That's what I'm getting out of all this. Is that correct?
That's what I'm trying to say. That
it took 5 minutes to get to that? Really?
It was your fault. It took 5 minutes to get there.
It's always my fault. I know.
I was almost there, and you just I thought I would involve you in the stream of consciousness, and apparently you took it to unconsciousness.
Generally gets to, yes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway. We want to mention we have Bill Higgins here today. For those of you who want to know the performance of U.S. small cap value.
Former advisor emeritus.
1926 through the end of 2018. And how much better that's been than large company stock. So he's there. If you don't call, we're going to jump right into that. So call.
855-935-TALK is our phone number. 855-935-8255. Next week. Hopefully,
yes.
If some other thing doesn't go wrong in my life.
Yes.
June has been the worst month. June has been the worst month. Death in the family.
That's true.
New roof on my house. Just things.
I hope you're not comparing the new roof to the death in the family. That seems...
No. I'm just saying it's been a crazy month.
Yeah, that's true. You've gone a lot of places too. You had a lot of trips.
Well, we had a wedding that was scheduled.
Self-inflected, and you had to go back east again, and then you had to go to so they've been around.
Right.
Yeah.
And my wife is now in Mississippi at a doctor's appointment. In Mississippi.
They don't have doctors in Florida?
Well, her doctor moved from Florida to Mississippi.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. Sure. Yeah, okay.
But next week, I'm embarking on the Talking Real Money on the Road trip.
No, we already decided no barking on this show, so sorry, you can't do it.
Talking Real Money on the Road trip.
You just said you're embarking on Talking Real Money.
Embarking.
Oh, embarking.
Wow, it's past Father's Day. No more bad dad humor.
I'm sorry. You're making it easy here, so...
All right.
Or maybe I'm just thinking about dogs, since my life is now filled with the dog that takes everything.
That's all you can think about.
Walks away with it.
So how are your shoes looking now? Well, you used to have some really nice shoes.
I'm either wearing them or they're put away in my closet, which door is shut. That's the only way I'm doing it. Yeah, that's it. Otherwise, you pile them up next to you and tell the dog to go away. So...
I could just. This conjures up such a great picture.
And me sitting there watching TV.
Tom sitting on the couch with his arm draped around a pile of shoes.
That's right.
I love
with Tucker
my
looking at
shoes.
me like, why are you keeping the shoes from me? What did I do?
My precious shoes.
So, sorry.
Don't touch my
I know.
shoes,
It's tough all over.
doggy.
Yeah.
Go play with the girl child, doggy. Leave my stuff alone.
Wouldn't it be nice?
855-935-TALK. That's the number here, right?
It is.
Okay. Just want to make sure we got it right. I don't want to go to the phone yet.
No, we'll go to Jeff here in just a minute.
We will.
Yeah.
No, we'll get
He's
there
waiting.
in a minute. I was on the trip, and you distracted. You get me
You
off
distract
track.
very easily, I got to say. Stay
Okay.
focused. What?
What I'm going to do,
Yes.
right now, people have been asking, where are you going to be on the road? So I'm
goodness.
going to put the early part of the trip up.
Oh, so you're leaving on Monday or something, right?
Well, I know. The first part of the trip is I go to Charleston.
Okay. So
Then
what
I
day are you
go-
doing the class in Charleston? Or maybe you're going to do a dance in Charleston? Don't they have a...
Gee, that's
I'm
more
sorry.
bad dad
okay.
humor.
You're
Oh,
making
you'll
it
like
easy.
this, though. You'll like this part.
Okay.
You'll like this part. On July 4th,
Yes.
I will be sitting on the deck of the USS Yorktown watching fireworks.
I don't even know where the Yorktown is.
It's in Charleston Harbor.
Oh, okay. And what is it? I don't even know. Is that an aircraft carrier?
Aircraft carrier
Oh,
from
nice.
World War II.
Oh,
The first
the Yorktown, yes.
The first
I know, it's
Yorktown
still
was
floating.
sunk.
Yeah, okay.
The first one, and
Yeah.
there was one in production, and they immediately
Oh, I
renamed
did
it
not know
Yorktown
that. Okay.
to replace the Yorktown, and it
Wow.
sits in Charleston Harbor.
Well
I will
done.
be watching the 4th of July from that historic ship.
Congratulations.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Do you know what your investment risk tolerance is? Take our free no-obligation risk quiz at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
855-935-TALK is our number. I'm Don McDonald along with Tom Cock, and for some reason Bill Higgins is hanging around even though he's already
He wants
retired.
his last check. I told him forget it. Not going to happen. I don't know. Call you
Well,
or something.
wait a minute.
So.
Didn't you use that for his retirement party?
Well, yeah, we blew it all the other night. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's late. So
What did
sorry,
you
Bill.
expect from Tom?
I don't know exactly.
Exactly.
We withheld the taxes on that too. So what can you say?
855-935-TALK. So call us and save us.
Yeah, please.
I think we should just get right to the phones and talk to Jeff. Hi, Jeff. Welcome to Talking Real Money.
Thank you very much. I had a question. I've got about $500,000 in a retirement account. I'm self-employed. I'm 63, thinking of getting out of equities, hold on to what I got, a little nervous about the market. It's currently in mutual funds that I think are probably high fees. I don't even think they're beating the index. I haven't been checking. I haven't been following. I made the mistake of not following my retirement account carefully. It's also all
No,
with,
Jeff, we don't want you to follow it. We don't want you to follow it, but you have to set it up right to begin with. Now, you said you're in some mutual funds. Can you name any of them?
I think Vanguard, and then the whole thing's being managed by a national company that charges a fee, 1.5, maybe 2 points, just to be in a mutual fund that also charges a fee for probably not even beating the index. So my question,
I can see
for
why
you
you're
is obviously-
discouraged.
You can tell why I'm discouraged.
Yeah. I know, I get it. Okay, so what's the question
I'm
for
not
us?
maximizing. I'm sure I'm not maximizing the return on the monies that I have.
I believe you. So your question is?
My question is, I'm thinking of going into a self-directed retirement account, and my question is, if I did that, could I buy private deeds of trust secured by property from
You
my
had us
self-directed?
until then. You were looking good. We were on the right track, and then you veered.
I
You went-
swayed off.
Yeah.
Why would you want to do that?
I'll tell you why. Because if I could do that, this is my next question. Maybe it's a complicated question. Is that I also have some rental properties. Could my self-directed retirement account? Could I make deeds of trust on the amount that is still owed on these properties at 6% interest rate, and my self-directed retirement account buy those? They're interest-only instruments. And I
Yes.
pay the interest basically
You
to
could.
myself.
You could set up an account. No, you couldn't pay the interest back to yourself, but
No.
you could set up a self-directed
To the account.
The self-directed accounts are ridiculously expensive. You think you're paying a lot now? You're going to pay 10 times that amount to have a self-directed account that would allow you to do private deeds of trust and other real estate transactions. You're going to pay through the nose.
Yep, it's very expensive.
It is ridiculously expensive.
And remember what you're in today. When you started the conversation, you said you wanted to sell stocks because they made you nervous. You're going to move into something that is completely illiquid, basically. I mean, you can't get your money at all there. And you should have a mix. If you're 63 and you're thinking about retirement within the next 5 years, you should have a mix between stocks and bonds, certainly not in one very, very, very small asset class, which would be local real estate. Really.
Plus, you're already doing local real estate basically as a small business. You don't want to have more of your money in one asset class that I know everybody's of the opinion right now in the Seattle metro area that real estate never goes down.
Although it didn't go up the last year.
Yeah, but that's nothing. That's nothing compared to what it could do in a real 2008 type scenario that Seattle really didn't experience. Not like Phoenix or Las Vegas or Miami.
But it came back faster than those other areas. So
you want a diversified portfolio. You want to be some in stocks and some in bonds, depending upon your risk tolerance. You want, though, to get away from that advisor because 1.5% to 2% is too much to pay an advisor for advice. As you said, it really is. You need a massively diversified portfolio, which I don't know if you have or not. But you also need you need someone you trust to watch it, because if you watch it, you're going to get too emotionally caught up in it.
Well, yeah, like I said, I check the market daily now.
No,
as you get older,
that'll kill you. No, literally, I've seen it kill people. It literally will, because day to day. By the way, do you know the ratio of ups and downs on the stock market day to day?
It goes with my pulse, basically.
That's about right. I mean, it's up about 51%. Yeah. It's down about 49% day to day. It's completely random.
Year to year, that number switches. That's why you shouldn't watch it. 75% of years, the market is up, and 25% down.
By the way, since you like real estate, think of this. Imagine if every one of your real estate properties was valued every day. If they called you every day and said, today your property's worth this. Imagine how nervous you would have been in 2008, for example, when prices did decline by 25 and 30%, and it was day after day. People forget that they don't get, although I guess you can go to Zillow and look at it every day if you wanted to, which I also would not recommend. Yes, you need professional guidance. You need help and you need to figure out how to turn the dial. Maybe it should be political talk, Don, to something else that is easier to take, because literally here's what will happen. You will make a bad decision with this $500,000 at exactly the wrong time. We've seen this over and over then you will not have all the money you need for retirement, which I imagine is in the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Sure.
Go out and interview a few good advisors. There's a list on our website at talkingrealmoney.com. It says our list of a few good advisors. And then download the advisor interview form. Find another advisor. I think you'll be happier. I don't think this advisor is really taking care of you the way you need to be taken care of. And I know they're charging too much. 1.5% to 2% is just ridiculous. Nobody's worth that kind of money. So that's what I do.
Well, and then again, they're not directing me into any winning stocks. It's not like they have the information before the market. By the time they get the information to me, the market's already reacted.
They can't know what the market's going to do in advance. You'll never find anyone who will help you do what you think somebody can do. They can't do it. It's impossible.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know of anybody who can see the future. We don't know. We don't want you to hire an advisor who's going to call you and tell you here's what's happening. That's the exact wrong piece of advice too.
Any advisor who says, I'm gonna get you the best stuff, I'm gonna keep you ahead of the market, I'm gonna get you in when you need to be in, I'm gonna get you out when you need to be out, they are bald-faced, absolute, no doubt about it. I have no problem telling them to their face, liars, absolute liars. Nobody can know the future, period.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Just about everything you need to know about money can be found at our website, talkingrealmoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
Hello again. Welcome to the show. I'm Don McDonald. 855-935-TALK is our phone number, 855-935-8255. Give us a call. We're trying to make money make more sense, so maybe you can make more money. We're also trying to avoid long, boring, data-driven discussions with Bill.
That's why we
And
fired him last week.
Yeah,
and he's here, showed up here to get his last check, and you can forget that.
how did he get in the building? That's pretty.
Security
I'm
is
pretty
so
impressed.
lax here.
Snuck
It's-
in.
Yeah.
But finding an advisor, let's talk about that for a minute,
it's so
because
hard.
it's
It's
probably one of the most
Yeah.
difficult professional services searches you can ever make.
I think it
really
is. I mean, there's no yellow pages anymore, right?
I didn't mean in that way.
But I'm joking. But remember, in the olden days when there were like thousands of advisors
Excuse
and there
me,
were those big ads.
May I bring you back to reality for a moment?
What?
What are you going to go to the? Let's assume
People
there
did
are.
it.
Okay, there are yellow pages. There's Google. Type in advisor in your area.
But it's the same
You're going to get a
thing.
list of advisors, and they're still going to stink.
It's the same thing. Is the point, right? In other words, you're throwing yourself out there and saying, who has the biggest ad? Who pays the most on Google search? That's not the way to find them.
Well, I know, but it sounded like you were
No,
espousing
I'm
the
not.
yellow pages.
I'm simply saying that's what used to be thousands of dollars spent locally on ads for advisors.
Okay.
People spent the
That's
money.
true.
That they did do that,
Yeah,
and
they still
it
do
probably
that.
worked. I have no idea, but that's not the way to find them. Bill, how do you find a good advisor?
Well, you're going to let Bill answer it.
Sorry, we're out of time. Don, how do you find a good advisor? All right, Bill, you can answer the question.
Well, I've got a question for Don. Do you think it's going to become even more difficult in light of what the SEC just did? In fact, by somewhat watering down the fiduciary standard.
Yes. How do you find a
Yes.
good advisor?
I like what. Okay, yeah, that's a good question. One thing that Don suggested was you go on to Talking Real Money and look at advisors that we've looked at that are fiduciaries. That you want 100% fiduciary
Yeah,
all the
thank you.
time, not the dual hat, but they're always going to act in your best interest.
He
And-
still only sold 2 hats. We
Yeah.
haven't made much money on that deal.
and here's the thing. When Don talked
tried.
about downloading that form, good luck on finding advisors that will sign that form or their bosses will let them sign that form.
Good point.
They should.
Okay, but if you want a fiduciary, okay, we have a list. Where else could you go look for fiduciary advisor? Don,
You're asking me?
you got to do something. It's your show. He's not
don't-
getting paid
I don't-
anymore. I barely
honestly,
get paid.
True.
I don't think you stand much of a chance going out and looking on your own, because these days there is so much obfuscation on the part of these dual-hatted advisors, these dually registered advisors. They are sitting there and blatantly stating that they are fiduciaries, when in fact that on the side they're selling indexed annuities, or on the side
We know of
they're
examples where
selling
it's happened,
they're
yeah.
selling loaded mutual funds, or putting you in C shares in American funds, or whatever it is. The odds are against you. They're really.
I didn't
against
ask
you.
how not to find them. I asked how to find them.
All right. So what's your idea? How do you think you're
I
going to find
didn't.
one?
It's not about me. I'm asking you.
You said it was my show.
You know, honestly, the truth is, if you're just listening, I wouldn't know where to tell you to go.
Right.
We used to send
Gee,
people
I think
to,
that was my answer, and you
well-
poo-pooed it.
we used to send people to dfaus.com,
Yeah.
and then we found out that some of the people they were saying our fiduciary advisors were duly registered and selling a lot of bad stuff. So that's not a good place to go. Yeah, I mean it's
That's why we made our baby
We put our
list, and
list, yes.
it's not the best list, but
no, it's a list.
it's
I'm sorry.
It's the
That
A
didn't-
list.
The A list. I don't know. It's not. It's you need to interview probably more than one, and you need to make them, as Bill said, sign the form that says, "I'm going to do what's right for you all the time."
Yep.
It's
I think
not easy.
I think maybe the best chance you have is walking into an advisor and say, "Are you willing to sign a piece of paper saying I will always act in your best interests?"
Tom and Don are talking real money.
It may not be the sexiest website in the world, but it's your one-stop shop for real money information. TalkingRealMoney.com.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
855-935-8255. Give us a call if you have a question that needs to be answered that has something to do with money. We will do our best to guide you in the right direction. We will always try to tell you the truth. If we make a mistake, we'll admit it. If we don't know it, we'll try and find it for you. Oh, speaking of not knowing it, last week somebody asked about Social Security.
Yeah, that's right. They did ask about the reduction of benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are no reductions in benefits.
Well, there's
I've
nothing.
checked-
There's some discussion, but
Yes.
there's nothing. There's no legislation pending. I think where this all comes from is that it's sometime in the not too distant future, Social Security is going to be paying out more than it's taking in.
Yes.
I think that's there's no dispute about that. Then there's this aspect that people think, oh, well, then it's broke. I'll never get my money. Well, no, it's not quite like it's at zero. It's less.
No. See, currently, Social Security brings in a bit more than it pays out through payroll taxes.
Correct.
In a decade or so, they're going to take in less than they pay out.
That's right.
But there is still the Social Security Trust Fund, which is
it's pledged.
a lot.
They've dipped their hand into. But the point is, the changes.
Well, no. That dipping the hand. What they've done is they've sold Social Security government bonds.
Correct.
So
it's depending. Okay, the way I categorize is not correct. But here's the thing. Number one, the changes to fix Social Security would be fairly minimal to make it last a lot, to bring it back on track. In other words, they could increase the amount of tax you have to pay in some nominal fashion. They could make people wait longer, which I think they're going to eventually do. I think if you're under the age of 40, it is likely you will not get Social Security probably till 68, which makes sense.
Well,
people are living longer.
The other thing they ought to do is eliminate the income cap.
Well, once you do that, the thing is fixed. I mean, in other words, right now you don't pay after 120
some odd $1,000.
Once you do that, then
which is dumb, because you're going to fund this. You pay on you're paying Medicare.
That's right.
You might as well that'll take care of it. And by the way, right now in the Social Security Trust Fund, invested entirely in U.S. government securities, is $2.6 trillion.
So they should have enough. By the way, we should mention Bill Higgins is here on his last day because he didn't have anything else to do. There was no baseball. Well, the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox already put up 24 runs in their game in London, so that's over. So he couldn't watch that.
Did they really? Well, yeah. Did they really?
They forgot that you need to make the fences farther than 200 feet or something or whatever it was.
The fence was like 300 feet in center field.
A lot of big, strong guys who can hit the ball.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Like a softball diamond.
Basically, it was the London Home Run Derby.
Yeah, apparently. Well, when you put up 17 runs, it's a pretty clear indication. So Bill's here, and if you don't call, we're going to start going into asset class performance going back to the mid-1920s because he knows this quarter by quarter. Right,
the real
Bill?
challenge is going back to the late 1800s. That's the one I want to see.
You really got to go into those little papers. And you
I rely
go through
on
them
Tom for that.
Yeah, somebody who was there, lived through the period, and could give you the history blow by blow. So, no, kidding. We're not going to do that. But I do want to mention that there is a way to quick riches. This came up a while back. This is easy. I mean, this is not like buying the deeds and all the rest of it.
We can end the show on this note.
Well, this will be a piece of cake because it's back. It was big. It went away, and now it's here again. That's called Bitcoin. The real money to be made. Come on, be honest. Now, Bitcoin has been skyrocketing lately, making us look bad because we told you not to invest in it.
Now, if you think the stock market is volatile, you ain't seen nothing. I mean, the stock market is tame. It is tame when you compare it to Bitcoin. Get this, year to date.
Yes.
From the 1st of January 2019 until the end of June 2019, that's a 6-month period. The annual return, well, the semi-annual return, the half-a-year return for Bitcoin, 206%.
I told you, he made a lot of money.
Wow. But here's what's really interesting. I've just been watching it the past week because the past week has been hilarious. In the past week, Bitcoin rose from $10,900 to over almost $14,000.
Wow, there's a climb for you.
That was Wednesday, 3 days. 3 days. Then it proceeded to fall to 11,000 and change. Then it went back up to 13. Then, and this is all in the same day, by the way. This is the same day.
Big trader.
Then on Thursday, it dropped to 10. Then on Friday, it went back up to to 12,000 something. This is a crazy thing that they call an investment, but it
sounds speculative.
It sounds more dangerous than Wall Street.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Tom and I believe in helping everybody become a better investor. That's why we offer lots of free knowledge at TalkingRealMoney.com.
For your real life and real future, Tom and Don are talking real money.
You're always welcome to call us here and ask your questions about money matters of all kinds at 855-935-8255. You can call during the show on Saturdays, or you can call any other time, and I'll answer those questions on the Talking Real Money podcast. So give us a call whenever the spirit moves you, 855-935-8255. But if you're calling between noon and 2 Pacific time on a Saturday, the show is live, and we'll try and help you like we're going to try and help John. John, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I'm looking at a beautiful sound here from Magnolia. I work for the city.
Fantastic. Well, thank you.
And I have a question for you. I'm in a true pension plan, but we also have a 357B and a Roth IRA. One is
deferred compensation, 457. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we have both that and the Roth IRA, which is post-tax. I believe they're both in Vanguard funds.
Great.
Not 100% sure on that. Is there a better option than those out there that would be outside of a managed city managed account?
Actually,
like a IUL or something like that?
Yeah. So the state deferred comp plan I have seen. It's a very good plan. Okay. The costs are low. The diversification is pretty good. We couldn't really tell you about this until we saw the specific funds that you could put into. We think very highly of Vanguard.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to have a pension, having a Roth component to your retirement makes a lot of sense as well. So I'd probably be doing that.
And it probably is a Roth 457 as opposed to a Roth IRA. The 457 plans are available in two flavors now, either the traditional 457 or the Roth 457. When you put money into a Roth 457, you don't get an immediate tax deduction like you do with the traditional 457, but it grows tax-free. There's a difference between deferred and free. It's a big difference.
And you don't have to take it out at 70 and a half and pay tax on it.
Right.
So I kind of like having the combination of the pension and then the Roth component.
Well, we have the pension and we have two deferred compensations. Yeah. One is we pay into before taxes.
Correct.
One you pay in after taxes.
Yeah, what I was saying was I think if just without, again, looking at the funds that are available, the underlying investments, if you have Vanguard, which is a very fine fund family, I would take you've already got the pension, and then I would do the post-tax Roth.
The Roth version of the 457. Make sense?
I put about $600 a month into combined split equally between the two. But I was looking at whole life. I was looking at IUL, and I read this book called Wealth Beyond Wall Street, and it kind of
those people are crazy.
Hinky.
I don't know who wrote Wealth Beyond Wall Street.
It is. It's another one of those pay yourself systems, bank on yourself kinds of deals. No,
Don't need to.
Those deals are bad. They're really good for the people selling the products because the commissions are huge. Whole life is a terrible investment. Universal life is a terrible investment. If you need life insurance
buy
to
term.
take care of your family, buy term
and invest the rest.
All right?
Okay. Thank you. That answers a lot of my questions.
Thanks, John.
I had a feeling that it was hinky, but I just
you're doing a lot of things right. Stay the course on what you're doing.
It's hinky. It's kinky.
That's a good word.
Stinky.
Stinky. That was the word.
Yeah,
exactly.
All kinds of
By the way, love your guys' show. When we work on the weekends, I listen to you guys religiously.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
Required reading.
Have a good day.
You too. I'm glad it's a nice day for outdoor work too.
Or listening.
Boy, is it ever! I kind of want to go home and work in the yard, or not.
Or watch the grass grow.
Exactly.
Until I have to mow it again.
Yeah, sooner. It's too soon.
855-935-TALK is our number. Michael is up next. Michael, welcome to Talking Real Money.
Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, I know you guys only got a few minutes left, but in 2009, I quit a job and rolled my 401 into an IRA.
Okay, good.
And I just let it sit, and now I'm turning like 63. And I was wondering, I'm confused. Did I get taxed?
No.
When I had the 401k, and when I take it out, do I get taxed?
Yes.
When do I get penalized? I know I don't get penalized if I don't touch it.
How old are you?
I'm just confused as to the rules of the.
How old are you? How old are you, Michael?
63.
So you're not going to pay any penalty for taking money out, but you're going to pay tax on anything you take out at regular income tax rates.
Yep.
Okay, so I didn't. It went in.
It went in. It was either a rollover or a transfer.
Yeah.
So there was no taxable. There was no taxable event that occurred.
Yep.
So all the money you had in the 401k went into the IRA. It's now been sitting in the IRA, hopefully growing in the IRA.
Yep.
When you take it out, any penny you take out will be taxed as ordinary income, whether it's a gain or the original investment.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I knew I couldn't touch it for penalty reasons.
Yeah.
But that was up until 59 and a half.
Yeah,
that was up until 59 and a half. Now you can touch it, but when you touch it, you'll pay tax on it.
Yep, you're okay. We'll get quickly.
Thanks, Michael.
Go back to Chris real quick here. Chris,
welcome to the show.
How can we help you?
Hi. I just heard the last spiel with a gentleman about the whole life insurance.
Yeah.
I am paying a premium right now, paying the whole life insurance. Been doing it for about a year and a half, 2 years now, and you say it's not a good recommendation?
Here's the thing.
We would never recommend it.
No, here's the thing. I have a lot of life insurance because I have a young daughter. I'm never opposed to transferring the risk of something happening to me to the insurance company and paying for that. No issue. Taking that same money and investing it with the insurance company is a bad thing to do, and that's what you're doing with whole life. You're combining those two things.
Here's the problem. Whole life insurance. What you do when you buy whole life is you give your money to the insurance company. They promise you some sort of meager dividend, and they'll pay out of that meager dividend. They'll pay for your term life insurance, basically. That's the way it works. And the commissions for whole life, people love selling them in the insurance business because the commissions are huge. Term life pays almost nothing because it's so competitive. Whole life, they get your money and they get to have it for a lot of it for a very long period of time. Why do you have life insurance? Is there someone who relies upon your income?
Well, yes, my family, but also I look at it as like an investment down the road. If I don't use it, I can draw
that's
off
the problem.
Of it, correct?
Yeah, but the investment portion of it is generally, I've never, ever, never seen one that was a good investment. Not
you
once.
could take that same money and take it to
5 years in this business.
Take it to Vanguard and own mutual funds at a tenth of the cost, maybe less.
Yeah.
Money you can still get.
What's your death benefit? How much money do you get if your family get if you die?
$200,000.
$200,000. You can get how old are you?
34.
You can get $200,000 worth of term life insurance for maybe $25 a month.
Something like that. We just had somebody in the office, one of the advisors who's having a child, do the same thing. Very inexpensive.
How much are you paying for your whole?
I think we lost him. Before we go, I want to thank Bill for coming today and for being a great advisor. with us at Vestry and being a great friend. Been a lot of fun. We'll see you around. It's au revoir.
Yeah.
I want
to thank you guys too. It's been very enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
I'll see you in August when I get out there.
Yes, sir.
Oh, he's coming for the free pizza. You can be sure of that.
Free pizza, you better believe it.
Tom and Don are talking real money.
Download the advisor interview form and find out if your advisor's a fiduciary at TalkingRealMoney.com.
Your guides to a really great financial future. Tom and Don are talking real money.
In just 1 hour, we'll show you how to become a better investor based on solid science at the Science of Retirement Income. And that's part of a luncheette event coming up in July. So get your tickets right now for lunch and a great education at TalkingRealMoney.com. That's TalkingRealMoney.com.
We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately and consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit TalkingRealMoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.